Hi, and welcome to another episode of Nursing Your Way to Wealth, where a mental health nurse and an accountant talk about wealth creation, personal development, and financial independence in the UK to help you live the life you deserve.
Hello and welcome back. This is episode 48, which we've titled Some Christmas Reflections. And Alex and I are going to set ourselves some more kind of 2025 goals as well. So, the idea of this is just a roundup episode. It's the last one we're going to do before we take a short break for Christmas and New Year. And we both got some kind of exciting stuff going on over that time. We're going to have a little bit of time off from this as well. So if we miss an episode for a week or two, please don't panic. We will be back in January 2025. First up, Alex, last week we introduced a new thing called Return on Heartbeats, which was originally your idea. But the idea being each week we'll bring something that either Alex or I or both of us we're happy with, we have some gratitude for, or just something that we feel has been a good return on the number of heartbeats we have. So the number of beats in our hearts are limited and we like to use them wisely. So, welcome back, Alex, as well. And if you could tell us about your return on heartbeats for this week and perhaps next week.
Yeah, hi Alex and hi everybody. Good to have this episode, I think, to look back again. But yeah, in terms of return on heartbeat, so I think it's that thing of, you're spending time or you're spending money on something and you know it's going to give you a good return. And so my exciting news is I actually get married next week. So that's been a huge kind of big event to get excited for. It's a nice kind of quite small affair of like close family, well, immediate family, kind of some close friends just near our house. Very nice and relaxing. So that's a Christmas Eve wedding. So we're very much looking forward to that. And yeah, I'm up to this point, it's been very good return on heartbeats, and I'm assuming next week will also be, as will you know, the rest of I guess our lives in a scary way, um, going forward. So I'm yeah, that's my bit of news, bit of good return on heartbeats. It's been a very much we've both been nice and involved. It's pretty well, we're fully organised, barring a few little things, but nothing that can't be done over the next couple of days. But yeah, we are all in a good shape and looking forward to that.
I think it'll be great. I mean, moving forward to something like that, just to bring kind of some extra elements to it. Like I've been married now 2 years, really 2 years, 2 years, 2 months, and nearly 2 weeks to the day. And I remember we had probably a slightly a bigger wedding than you guys. I think we catered for 100 like that. But you can make weddings as big and as expensive as you like, or not. And afterwards, when kind of my wife and I we got married the day after, we had a small honeymoon, etc. We both spoke about it, and we were like, actually, would we do it kind of that big again? And actually, we said probably not. And we felt quite a lot of pressure to invite a lot of people because they're kind of related to other people or friends of other people, etc. And I think we would have pared the list down quite a lot, and still really had the same result. But that said, I don't regret it. I don't think about it in any depth whatsoever. But it sounds like you're pretty much set to go with a week to go.
Yeah, so yeah, we've got there's 48 people in total, including me and Amelia. So that's quite a nice number. We've got a nice lunch. We've got the ceremony, then the lunch, and then after in the evening we're going to come back to our house. We're only like a 5 minute drive away from the venue, and then just do some catering and like kind of nibbles and some drinks afterwards. So barring another trip to Tesco to just stock up on some more uh festive discounted wines and beers and some nibbles from the oven, then we are all ready to go. Um, but yeah,
So actually, you're just something's just tweaked in my brain here. So you're getting married on the 24th of the 12th, which is like the maths works there, and you're having 48 people.
oh yeah, true.
So December's the 12th
It
month.
is.
The 24th is twice that, and your number of guests should be twice 24 as well.
I haven't twigged that, but I'll mention that. That's a good one. It's also at 12 o'clock as well.
Well,
So
imagine if you guys did it at like 12:24 and 48 seconds
yeah.
on the dot.
That's it. Maybe that could be when we like sign the certificate or something. I don't know. But
Yeah. Or it can be
yeah,
an exchange of rings at that time.
yes,
Who
yeah.
knows? Whatever happens, I'm sure you'll have a great time, and it'll be, yeah, it'll just be wonderful. Like, I remember the kind of the day I got married, and I just remember it all being great. Like I've been to other weddings
Mm,
before, and you know a few people, you know, like pockets of people from here or there. But when it's kind of
yes,
yours, you've hand invited every single person. And when I was kind of standing doing my, are you doing a speech or no?
I am doing a speech. Yes,
Yeah. So when I stood up to do my speech, and you look out over all the people that are there, you're like, oh, you guys are all great, and you've all come here to see me and my wife get married, and it was just really good. I really enjoyed it. It's just a perfect time of like friends and family in a celebratory kind of thing. Um, yeah, oh, I'm sure it'll be great. I'll be look forward to seeing some pictures of it too when you're done.
yes, I will definitely send some.
Uh,
Um, yeah,
that would be great. So, and you could never forget your wedding anniversary either because it's literally Christmas Eve.
yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. And it was also quite funny. We thought and we could maybe do an episode of wedding planning actually on and money and talk through our experiences. But we thought like this was Amelia's idea is that if you go on Christmas, the hotels are already decorated with flowers and trees and festive things. So you kind of because some venues charge money for having it decorated. So we thought, well, there's already Christmas decorations, so we kind of save on that part.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're right. You're absolutely right. Literally reminds me the day before I got married. There was me, my brother, my sister, my wife's sister and her husband, my aunt and uncle, my in-laws, and my mum and dad all decorating this village
Mm.
hall with things. And we were like putting seat covers on, tying bows on chairs, putting lights up, putting up ribbons, all sorts of stuff. And it probably took us 6 hours for maybe 10 people to do. And that's a lot of
Yeah.
hours worth of work. And we were doing loads of things. So actually having that pre-done by someone else, which is it means you're not going to have to be climbing ladders, stapling stuff, and doing all sorts of like who last had the tape measure, where's that
Yes.
gone? Yeah, that's actually a really good idea. A really good. Mm. Oh, that'll be great. Okay, so that's a really good return on heartbeats. Yeah, I probably won't see you beforehand, so I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
talk in the week. But I hope you have a great day. I'm sure it will be everything you want it to be and more. It'll
Yes.
be wonderful. You'll have to get used to wearing a ring now
I know. That's it.
as
I'm sure.
well.
I'm sure
It'll
it
feel
will.
weird, but
Yeah.
then you get used to it, and it's weird when you take it off.
Yeah. I thought a few
Yeah,
people have said that, but I'm yeah looking forward to it, and I think definitely a good return on heartbeats.
100%, 100%. Okay, cool. I think that's enough on return on heartbeats. So, in terms of kind of reflections for Christmas, we're just using it really as time at the end of the year to think back about 2024, sort of what we've achieved, where we've come to, thinking about all the decisions we made kind of within that year. It could have gone one way or another, but they've gone a particular way, and anything we would perhaps change or look forward to in kind of 2025. So for me, one of my biggest kind of reflections for Christmas would be like changing jobs to suit me better for this year. So I've literally just started my new job early December, and I'm in my third week now. And my commute's literally 20 something minutes. I got home today in 24 minutes, which is crazy. Normally it would take
Yeah.
me an hour, sometimes longer. And I can't see myself doing such a long commute again. I would just discount any job I think that's over half an hour away. I don't see any benefit to using up all that time per week sitting in the car or on the train.
I think that's brilliant, and I think it's because I know we've talked previously about that you're almost when you're thinking about your job, not just think about obviously the salary, but it's the life around that.
Yeah, the whole package.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
really pleased.
Yeah, it's working really well. The team are really good. Um, the another good thing, which I initially thought was a bad thing, is I get rubbish 4G signal in my workplace. So I find I'm much less likely to be wasting time on like WhatsApp or Reddit or reading articles and stuff. And I'm more productive
Mm,
as a result, which is good for my employer and also good for me as well. I can get more of my stuff done in the hours that I'm there. so there's less kind of overflow into the next day or the next week. So I'm hoping I can help that kind of inconvenience of not having access to that in my pocket. It'll make me more more focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well, actually.
Yeah, not sure I should have admitted that actually out loud.
Yeah. Can edit that out.
Yeah, we could maybe chop it. I don't know, or not. I don't think any of them listen, so I think I'm probably safe. Yeah. Anything else from you, Alex? Thinking about kind of the back to 2024.
Yeah, I guess there's a few things which I mean it's been a bit of a crazy year, especially with I think Amelia being ill, and I think it's been one thing to be really grateful for is one is having that kind of emergency fund buffer, knowing that we've got some money there if anything did go wrong, and luckily, and also having very good employers on both of our parts. They've both been really supportive, been really understanding, giving us flexibility because I mean, hopefully nobody ever has to go through it, but the amount of sheer volume of visits to hospitals, um, kind of not feeling good, being, mood swinging up and down and just, yeah, incredibly invasive
It's a
treatment.
lot.
Yeah, it's,
It's a lot all round, isn't it? On every facet of life, like physical, mental, emotional, time.
yes,
It's huge,
yeah,
huge.
absolutely. So I think knowing there's a bit of financial security there and we've got really good employers, I could not be more grateful. And I know Amelia was exactly the same. Um, and a couple of other bits is so we've from kind of I think it was like September 2023 we started to my one of my friends started to lodge with us for a few weeks as he was kicked out of his well kicked out his landlord doubled his rent and he only had a few weeks left to kind of work in the country because he was moving jobs to a different country, so he came and lodged with us for a little bit, and we carried that on, and throughout this year through 2024 we've always had lodgers in our kind of spare room, which has proven, it's not as obviously everything takes a little bit of adjusting, but it's proven pretty good on the financial standpoint. Kind of we ring fence that money to essentially pay off. We're trying to pay off the house and reduce the mortgage. So that's been pleased with how that's gone, and we see that just continuing. And then for me, on like a more personal level, from on the FI path. So I think this year, as we covered in the last episode, I think I've eventually got to my coast FI number. So that's the point where, without putting any more money into my investment accounts or my pension, if I let that just run and grow and compound for the next 30 years, I'll then be able to retire on a comfortable kind of salary and income without having to actually contribute any more money from this point. So, and that's not the case. I will continue to invest heavily and try and bring that coast fi to a full fi. But I think it's a big milestone of kind of from starting out on the path to like get to this point. It's quite comforting knowing that there's that option where I don't have to be aggressively investing every month. Um, so that was big for me.
I think, yeah, I think as well, just sorry to butt in, but with that, but given everything else that's gone on in life for you guys, if someone told you in like 2022 this would be your 2024, you'd
Mm,
be like, absolutely not, get out. It's too much kind of deal with. But you've said you've had a huge amount of stress relief from having a good financial base. You now, like the markets perform really, really well, and you've reached your post-fire number, which we always knew that would happen because your financial practices are solid. We trust in the market, history being our guide, but it's happened sooner than you expected it to. And
yes.
it allows you then to actually, if you did need to reduce some hours of work, if you did need to change jobs to be around a bit more, or to do anything like that that is better for your life balance, you can do that knowing that actually that retirement part of your life is already taken care of because of
Mm.
your decisions you've taken in the past.
Yeah, exactly. That a lot of the heavy lifting is now done in that regard. So yeah,
Mm.
it's yeah a massive thing. But yeah, it's definitely come around quicker than I expected. I think the market's gone a bit bonkers from Donald Trump being elected again. I think that might 2025 might be a bit different, but we'll see.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, predictions are always a bit off, aren't they? People say it's going to
Oh
go up or
yeah,
down, and it just does the opposite, seemingly. Um,
exactly. I think Warren Buffett's got a quote of it something like, "Oh, economists are there, economic forecasts are there to make the weather forecast look good," something
yeah,
like that.
and that's
So
mostly wrong, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's really hard. Like you just can't predict it, can you? Like you can have a guess, and sometimes you'll be right, but with any certainty, you can't predict human emotions and how that will affect an ever-changing sea. I just
yeah,
think it's a fool's game trying to predict it. It's a little bit like rolling a 20-sided dice and just assuming you'll get it right day after day.
exactly.
Um,
And I think yeah,
yeah.
just focusing on the inputs of how much you're saving, controlling your spending,
Mm.
investing in the funds that over a very long period of time have returned very good returns. But yeah, the day to day and year to year is yeah, it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's noise, isn't it, at that point? And I
it
think
is.
you put it really well. Control what you can control, because what we can control is the fees we pay, the amount we put into the stock markets, and perhaps like where we put it. What you can't control is when those things will go up, when they'll go down. Instead of trying to time the market, just spend as much time in it as you possibly can. So, and you're actually as well, your proof of concept that what we talk about works. I'm also proof of concept. I'm just a little bit further behind than you, but it kind of gives me something to chase, knowing that actually in X number of years' time, I'll be saying that my figures are similar to your figures. But by
Mm,
then, annoyingly for me, but great for you, you'll have probably 4x what you have, and you'll already be there, and you'll be doing what you like with your time as your only non-renewable asset. You'll be kind of camping all over the place.
yeah, that's it. That's the dream. And it's funny you should say that. I met up with one of my old bosses, or my old boss's boss actually lives not far away from me, and
Mm,
we met up for a coffee yesterday. And he's at the point where he's just turned 50, and he's on his last job. Basically, he said he doesn't that he's got some good investments, his house is paid for, and I don't. He's like, this will be it for me. When I get bored of my current job, then I'm going to leave, and then I will just spend time with my children and my dog. And it was almost like the power he has over his time. And he said,
mm.
because he can walk away at any point. And he said, if work again it getting funny, he just knows. Well, I mean, he doesn't say it too bluntly to them, but with no certain terms that I can be doing better things and I don't need you. And
Yeah, and it just gives you a lot of control back and choice, doesn't it?
yeah,
And like I said before, and we've said it before, like having being on this path, no matter how far you are along, gives you options and it gives you choice. So, for example, if I don't know, something massive changes within my NHS structure, and I get redeployed somewhere that I absolutely hate, and they're like, within your contract, you have to go, but actually, kind of don't,
mm,
do have some options here. Could take 3 months off if I need to.
yeah,
I mean, my wife, they're making redundancies at the university she works at. And I know we've talked a little bit about it kind of off pod. Um, and she was kind of a little bit worried about it. And I was like, well, actually, like, don't panic. Like everyone else at work might be panicking, but these are the reasons that you do not have to panic because we have X, Y, and Z. We have a good emergency fund. We've got investments doing really well, and we've been very financially astute for the last 7, 8 years now. If you are made redundant or you choose to leave your job, you have a long runway now of kind of 6 months plus that you don't have to bring any money in for. Like we will be absolutely fine
yeah,
based on that. Take a breath because everyone else at work is like running around with their hair on fire. There's loads of gossip going on. A lot of it is untrue, and
mhm,
people are just making like rash decisions um, based on fear,
yeah,
which she doesn't have to do. And it's kind of similar to you guys knowing that you have good employers, you have an emergency fund. It just lifts a lot of that pressure and strain off of you, so you can focus on that, what actually matters.
yeah. And I can't. I've never. Yeah, I guess for the first time, I've felt the benefit of having that, and
Yeah.
because
tangibly.
yeah, because it just isn't. It was never a thing to worry about. And I know that there's certainly people we know who, are going through similar situations, and they have now crazy financial stress on top of what is an incredibly stressful situation anyway from with your health. So
Yeah, from a
yeah,
treatment point of view, massively.
treatment, yeah.
A
Uh,
lot of it's out of your control. I mean, to a much lesser extent. I know some of the people my wife works with, and other people kind of at the university, they're assumed because they work for a uni, their jobs are secure for life, and they'll
mm,
eventually get a professorship, tenure, etc., and slowly move up the rank because you've put in the time. But actually, that's not always true. Um,
yep,
it is fallible. You might find yourself on the sharp end of a redundancy stick, and if you have to spend all that redundancy money keeping your life the way it is, it's not, unless it's a particularly generous package, which it's probably not going to be. At some point, reality is going to come back to you, and you're going to have to start either adjusting your lifestyle or finding a similar level of employment. And those kind of jobs in teaching, they don't come around that often. They're so sought after.
yeah, it's a really good point. I think yeah, no,
Flexibility, isn't it?
yeah, 100%. Um, yeah, I did have another one highlight, the last one. I know I've taken up
Sure.
most of these, but it
No,
was
you're good.
um, so for the pod. I mean, we've done this pretty much one a week. It's kind of worked out to be just shy of, which I think is yeah, testament to to pat both of us on the back ourselves.
Hmm.
And I think it's a really good amount of content that's gone out. People are listening, which is excellent. And to do it, yeah, for one a week, I think we can look back and be really pleased on that.
Yeah, I think so. I think born of an idea that we had together from you originally sending me a book and us having the idea to kind of join
Mm,
forces and put something out into the world, to be a little bit brave, to put our voices out there and our thoughts. It can be a scary thing. I know I was super nervous the first few episodes we did, but it's
hmm.
amazing how quickly you become accustomed to that. And
Yeah.
now we get kind of questions from people. People ask me at work, or my pals ask me. They're like a couple of weeks ago, you said this. What do you mean by that? Where can I learn more about it? And I'm like, well, this is what it means, and this is how it can benefit you. And it just goes to show that we're not just saying things just because we can, but because we have a small platform now. We're saying things that have really helped scope our life and not scope, but like with helping to create a life that we actually want to live, one that's free of some forms of stress, and we're using the time, in our opinion, as well as we perhaps can, because time is the only thing we aren't going to get back. Like sooner or later, we're both going to be. I mean, we're halfway to 72, right? Sooner or later, we're going to be 50 at some point. I can't imagine myself being 50, but I'd want to be still following the path and really getting the rewards of that. I mean, I could be retired by that point. Hopefully, I will be. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I cut you off there for a minute.
no, it's fine. I was going to let you go, but yeah, no. I'm just thinking about, like you said, your friend is going to step out of work and he's in his 50s. Um, when you get to that point, if things become a bit much at work and you do decide to step away, do you tell people like I'm retiring, or do you say, well, actually I'm just going to take a little bit of time, find another job, or do you say, actually no, I'm done because I've done all of these kind of smart money moves since I was very
Mm,
young, and now I don't have to work. See you later. Sorry, I didn't tell you earlier.
yeah.
How would you approach that?
I like that idea of the mic drop
Yeah,
of
boom.
yeah, read my book from 20 years ago and it'll tell you what to do.
Yeah, I wondered how you would do that. Like, I think it would evoke quite a bit of jealousy, perhaps, in
Mm,
some people, because it's a little bit like people only see the results of hard work. They don't see the
hmm.
years and years of graft that
Yeah.
kind of go into it, and the sacrifice and the decision making. And we've said before, it's the stuff you don't do. Like wealth is the stuff that you don't see, the money that's not spent,
Yeah.
rather than like the flashy stuff that is spent. So I always wonder whether I would say, like, actually, guys, I'm done, I'm retired now, or I'm just gonna take a bit of time off, have a bit of a sabbatical or something. Not that you need to justify anything you do in life to anyone else, but I just wonder how you'd have that conversation. Is it
Yeah.
literally like going to take a small gap? I've heard some people say on Reddit that they say they're investment managers, or they're portfolio managers because they're just managing their own finances now.
Yeah.
Or you do a passion project. Who knows?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. We'll find out hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, yeah, definitely sooner rather than later. But your friend said like he's gonna quit and he's gonna spend all the time with his family, his children. I
Mm.
mean that to me is enough in
Oh yeah.
itself. And to do something that truly matters to you and that you can thank your previous self for is
Mhm.
humongous.
Yeah. And I think that's yeah, it was quite inspiring actually catching up with him. I've not seen him in a while, but it was nice to yeah to hear from him and almost be like, oh wow, so that's almost like a vision into the future of what it's going to be like. Of yeah, at any point you can just pull the plug, which yeah is very empowering.
Yeah, it's kind of like an escape rope, isn't it? From a sticky situation you perhaps don't want to be
Yeah.
in. You can escape should you wish to. You obviously don't have to, but it just gives you that extra option. And I feel like mentally here and emotionally here, that will give you an enormous amount of like stability and relief within things that you do have that as an option. Should something happen that you really don't enjoy. I mean, like if someone said if your employer Alex said to you, "Oh, we need you to go and work out of another country for 6 months," it's non-negotiable, or you do that, or we let you go, depending on where you're at in life, you can say actually either tell me more about it or absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly.
It gives you choice, and I think having more choice is obviously better than having less. Yeah, less
Yeah.
choices. Have you got any thoughts on, because we're coming up to kind of half an hour, but have you got any thoughts on goals for 2025?
Yeah, I think my my big goal is from an investment standpoint to have like 350,000 invested across my ISAs and pensions by this
Mm-hmm.
time next year, which is a about a 60,000 increase, roughly from where it is now. Um, not all of that will be contributions. There'll be about a third of that.
I imagine.
Yeah, about a third of um, yeah, probably about half of it will be from potentially market growth. So quite a
Yeah.
bullish view, but that's kind of a bit of um, a big target for me. I think also I'd like to try and start building like a second income stream as well from something. I don't quite know what yet, but something I could maybe do at the weekends or something like that. I always think of like getting a little food van or something like that. But this is and like going to little shows or something. But we'll see what. Yeah,
Yeah, do a festival or something, or a street market, or
yeah,
better still, own the van and have someone else run it for you. And
yes,
you take, well, no, 50% of whatever they make. I've no idea. Give them a salary. Um, yeah, I've always thought about that because I was big into kind of building a coffee cart with my dad and kind of having that as a thing. When I worked part time for 6 months, I was thought actually this is what I would like to do. Um, didn't get anywhere with it because I just got bogged down in research and got
mm,
offered a full time job. So I always think about having more than one income stream. And we've talked before about having multiple income streams, obviously more helpful, but
mm,
something that's a bit more hands off. And I think then it's about ownership rather than you going and like flipping burgers and stuff. Unless you love doing
yeah,
that,
yeah.
who knows?
I do quite enjoy it, but yeah, I think it's similar. Yeah, it's looking at maybe yeah investing a little bit in something yeah like a yeah food van or truck or a little franchisey thing, but then having yeah somebody else run it. A bit of a big goal, and but we'll see what.
Yeah.
But
Well, test it and see how you feel. See how it
exactly,
goes. You'll
yeah,
learn from it. Yeah.
exactly.
In terms
How
of
about you?
like, yeah, goals for me. I mean, you've obviously picked a punchy number. I've just been doing some quick maths in my head. Um, I would I would be very very happy if I got to 100,000 or more than that total, kind of
Mm,
across ISAs, investments, pensions. Off the top of my head, I think I'm at about 64 or something like. No, 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 that's not right. 74. I've got my maths wrong. So it's about 74,000. So I would need kind of 25, 26 plus. Some of that will obviously would be my contributions. I'll have
Mhm.
an NHS pension, which will be very, very helpful towards that. Although it's not kind of money in my pocket, it's a promise of being paid money. So I don't know whether I can include that or not. I probably should.
I think so, especially so would this be the like the defined benefit
Yes.
pension? Yeah. Oh, I think I would definitely
Yeah, include
include
that.
that.
So if I am including that, I think it's probably doable. It will take
Mm.
some kind of good growth and a good headwind into the markets, and we'll see what happens. At the same time, I've got two other things written down here. I've written new shed or summer house for my garden and home extension question mark. So if those two things come about, I think I'll be investing a lot less than to. But then it'll be an investment in life and in the property we own to make it kind of livable long term instead of
Mm.
moving house. Um,
Yeah.
it's kind of something we go back and forth on. Like moving costs a fortune, it's a huge uplift and hassle. And by the time you've done with like stamp duty, removal people, all the other fees you have, you're probably going to be 15, 20,000 anyway. That will go a long way into an extension fund.
Yes. I always think that, yeah, when you actually put all the numbers down and add up just the cost of moving, it's crazy.
Mm.
And I think, yeah, no, that's a good one to maybe we could do an episode on extensions. I've not had one myself, but yeah, the
No,
the things to
I think it
to
sounds simple, doesn't it? But when you're in the mix of it and you're living with dust and nothing, like you're cooking on a little
yes.
camping stove because they've turned your gas off or whatever, it's a lot. But it would be, I think, a single story. Knock our old conservatory down, which is 40 years old. It's
Hmm.
freezing cold in the winter, and boiling hot in the summer, and there's just no in between.
Oh, okay,
So
yeah.
either it's like sunbathing weather or it's like Arctic wind level. Just to knock that down and create a bigger kitchen diner, which is a bit more kind of on like people want to live in spaces like that as well. But
Mm,
obviously that will cost a fortune. So I might find that I pause investment contributions or severely reduce them, which is okay. It's going to be a short term thing.
yeah.
Once that is done and paid for, I would increase those back up. So you can reduce investments if you do need some short-term cash as part of your cash flow model and your planning, but then make sure you increase them as you go on sooner. Don't get used to having the extra cash and inflate your lifestyle. It will come at the detriment of when you are 50 and you're retiring and I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done that, but instead I've got loads of extra stuff um, at home. So yeah, I think it's something my wife and I talk about a lot. Um, Yeah, so I think it's something that will happen. Yeah, but we'll definitely cover that as an episode, maybe a few,
Mm,
if
yeah.
kind of working that out, figuring it out. Um, one other thing I'll mention, just right at the buzzer. Last week, I might have mentioned it before, but our boiler didn't work for 9 days, and I could not find a
Yes.
plumber to save my life. And using a bit of my emergency fund, I bought loads of logs so we could heat our home for our log burn. And again, it took a little bit of pressure off of us to have that money set aside and can be used if needed.
Hmm.
Yeah, just to solve those things. Lastly, Alex, let's do a quick reasonable or ridiculous because we're at 34 minutes now. So the one I'd like to kind of discuss today is the kind of on trend for Christmas, but the idea of Secret Santa in workplaces, having a small budget and buying someone something. What are your thoughts on it? Are you a
Yeah,
fan? Are you not? Is it reasonable or is it ridiculous?
I find I've been part of these before, and I have varying levels of success as a recipient. One of the best gifts I had was actually a piece of steak. Somebody went to the local Tesco and bought 10 quid's worth of steak, which was then absolutely delicious. But then you end up sometimes with quite a lot of tat and rubbish. I think unless they're, and I've also seen it where people go a little bit overboard and people are spending crazy amounts of money, even though there's a budget. So I don't know. I think it encourages kind of unnecessary gifting, and maybe I'm a bit of a Scrooge, but I think it can be get a little bit ridiculous now. But I wouldn't say it's an extreme ridiculous. I think it can be done nicely. Um, but yeah, I'm yeah, I tend to find myself not dreading it a little bit because it's just another piece of tat that I'll probably get, and I have to go to the charity shop. But yeah, how about you?
Yeah, no, I'm literally the same. So often I've done it before for a couple of years. I can't tell you anything major that I got off the top of my
Mm,
head. It's kind of a generic, here's some like kind of body wash and bath set. Maybe it's a candle, maybe it's, I don't know, some beer, even though I don't drink, or just something because someone's felt obliged to give it.
mm.
One of the best things I got was a vegan cookbook, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Um,
that's good. Yeah.
yeah, but the rest of it just like no, I, and also as well, if it depends on the size of your kind of workplace. Like in my current workplace, there's like 30 people. I do not know all of them well enough to know like if I have £10, £15 as a budget, I have no idea what you would actually like without asking you.
Mm,
And you end up just getting something generic that you hope that somebody would actually enjoy. So yeah, I'm a ridiculous thing. I think it adds more to kind of expected obligation for things. So
hmm.
I usually opt out um, in something like that. I've done it once in the last couple of years. I can't even tell you what I got, so it can't have been great. It certainly wasn't a piece of steak from a butcher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I have done the Reddit Secret Santa a couple of years ago. I did that 3 years in a row, and again, I couldn't tell you what I got from that either. To be honest with you, um, yeah, nothing major. I only hope that I get matched with Bill Gates and get a round the world cruise or something mental. But
Yeah.
alas, yeah, never happened.
Keep dreaming.
Yeah, never happened so far. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you wanted to mention as we round off 2024 or no?
No, but I just think, yeah, big thank you to all the listeners. And yeah, any questions or comments, please just send them in. Um, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And yeah, if you fancy it, having a chat on one of the episodes, that'd be absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, do so. Like if you've absolutely smashed this year and it's been brilliant, send it in. If your investment returns have been amazing, send those in. We'll yeah, we'll shout you out on the show, of course. And if you want to come on and talk to us about anything at all, you can do that too. The last thing, kind of, Alex, I have to say to you is thank you for coming with me for the last 48 episodes. It's been a lot. Every Wednesday or most Wednesdays, we've sat kind of together and we've recorded things like this. And getting 48 out of 52, I think, is good out of the year because our original goal was to do one per week and to continue. A lot of life has happened, certainly for you guys, but also me in between. I think we've done really well to do 48. It's not the perfect 52, but it is still really really good. And I don't want to let perfect be enemy of the good. The last thing is just happy wedding day, my friend. You guys are going to have a great
Thank
time,
you.
I'm sure. Purely focus on some holiday that you've got and the wedding itself. Um, Take a bit of time to reflect on where you've come. And if I can be of any use to you in the next 7 days, do shout. If I can make it happen, I will. Um, yeah, but please don't forget your shoes or your tie or something on the day or anything like
Oh,
that.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you ring me 10 minutes before, I'm not going to be able to sort that
That's
out.
yeah. But no, thank you. And yeah, echo the sentiment on the partnership over the last year. I think it's been really good,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for listening. We'll see you in 2025, and we'll just between us, we'll wish you a happy Christmas if you celebrate it and a happy New Year. Thank you for all the lessons over the year, and we'll be back in January 2025. We'll see you then.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
None of what we discuss on the show is to be considered financial or health advice, and we recommend you always do your own research or consult an independent financial advisor or a doctor when making your financial or health decisions.